but it'll be something we work on and all that good stuff. I wanted to start putting the webcam on here too, so I can talk to you guys, so you can see me, and that way, naturally, phone call. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. How are we gonna pause this? Here we go. 1 second. So you know, we're off to a great start. Get those phantom calls, the wrong number. But anyway, hi, how's everybody doing? Yeah, so like I said, I'm doing a quick stream today, and we're gonna hit the old record button, see what happens, all that good stuff. Totally unedited, obviously, and it's just easier to do that sort of stuff without editing all these things. But I am streaming, so I don't know who and if and when people are gonna show up. That'll be there. You'll notice. Actually, I'm just looking right now. I've got a spot right now that you'll see like 4 tomatoes on the screen. That's for whenever I work on the Pomodoro stuff. A lot of people they ask, why is there tomatoes? Watch, there'll be people asking, and if you're interested, check it out. I've got tons of videos, well not tons, a few videos talking about it. It's meant to really just increase productivity. If you find yourself maybe unable to focus, or you only actually have like a certain amount of time to do work. For me, it's been awesome for me. I almost use it daily. Today is Saturday; it's a day off. I don't really have much work to do, so I can just kind of relax and do this sort of thing here. So what I plan on doing today, I don't know when these videos will be uploaded and stuff, but today I'm going to work on Luke Cage. It's a Patreon, sorry, it's a Patreon commission. So we're going to go right from like the silhouette to roughs to line art, inks, and like the Copic marker sort of look as well. And then if we got time, I have to get started on doing the flats for our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles double page spread. So you guys can look forward to that as well. So, and if people come in, I apologize if the audio is messed up. Just let me know, or if it's out of sync. I'm sure that there's gonna be a lot of like, what the hell is going on? Hey Java boy, hey Keeman, how's it going, guys? Yeah. So let's let me get set up here. I got my reference off screen. I just want to make sure I've got all that ready to go. Cool. So Luke Cage, this is gonna be fun. And these are these commissions here for Patreon. They're just meant to be like bust sketches, but I find that the more I do them, the more they kind of get a little go a little further with them. But that's okay. That's okay. So we'll see how we're gonna go here with this. Let's get our folders all ready here. Silhouettes up first. Let's get our brush. And there's going to be a lot of things here. You guys let me know. Like I said, this is a trial run. If you notice, too, on the right, I've got all the links you can look at. Again, I don't really like the way it looks right now, so I plan on changing it. But let me know. And I'll ask probably throughout the stream, too, just for feedback. But, like, right, I can see it right there, right at the bottom right for Instagram. It takes up so much room that it's hard to get this stuff fit and all that good stuff. But this black outline I've got here is going to be blocking up a lot of the stuff that I consider you don't need to see. Nobody cares about layers and stuff. But if you guys have a concern or you want to know a little bit about workflow or what's going on over there, just let me know and I can show you guys. And one last plug, these brushes I'm going to be posting today on Patreon. So if you're interested, or if you're interested and you're actually in the stream right now, you can check it out. They'll all be there. I got to make a video for it as well, so you guys will see that. That video will probably drop next, like a week after this. So if you're watching this streamed, they should be available for you to check out if you're interested as well. They're going to be like $1. So if you're subscribed for like $1, you can get access to the brushes as well. And you can cancel at the end of the month and all that good stuff, so no stress there. But any support would be, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. So, Power Man, Luke Cage, what are we going to do here? I'm not too familiar with the character. Let's see if we get going here. Sort of thinking of maybe having his like arms up. I do this all the time. You guys have seen me do this with like the Superman one. It's very similar actually. Right now that I'm looking at it, I have that with like rubble or something up top. Maybe just do like a simpler one. Shows big muscles. This one actually, like I say, it's simple, and these aren't meant to be like things that take all day. They are meant to be just little, somewhat quick stuff. But this one might be able to play around with like having, because he's bulletproof, I believe, right? So you can have a couple bullets like bouncing off of him, perhaps. It's pretty classic kind of stuff. Maybe we'll go with this one. I think we'll just go with this. So let's start to figure this stuff out here. So, how's everybody doing? How's your weekend going? You guys working on any projects or anything? Yesterday was a super casual stream, and we really started talking about like some really cool stuff about like not just social media, but I guess it's maybe not its place, but I was throwing out to you guys on Twitter and stuff too, just carrying the conversation over there. Like, how do you guys consume your comics for the most part? And I think it might be a little jaded for the people that I'm asking because most of us we make comics, you know. And it might be more appropriate to ask the people that actually just consume comics, you know. But I was interested in how many people are reading on their phone. That's what I was interested in because what I've been thinking about with Jessup King is this is the back and forth stuff. The story is still getting written as is. None of that's changing. And next month is, or maybe the end of this month, start of next month, we'll be starting on pages, which is great. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to go back to the original format that I had when we were first doing it. Of it meant just for digital consumption and worry about print later. Like I honestly don't even care about the print. I'm an artist, right? So I love the print and the touch, the smell, the texture, all that good stuff, and the bigger pages. But for what I'm finding, and I'm sort of using myself as like an example with this, is like for the most part, most of the stuff I'm consuming is digital. Most people I follow is just digital. When there's specific things that come out that people do or something that I'm really interested, then I kind of look for like the physical copy of that. So Jessup King's too early for any of that stuff. So may as well get it in front of like the original idea I had, which I lifted from Jersey Joe's. Again, check out his comic, Boulder and Fleet. Uh, it was very intriguing what he was talking about doing, where it was just like making it basically for mobile. So the idea is like people can just click a share, or like, or organically grow through social media stuff, and then worry about I don't want to say worry about making money, but worry about what you'll do after once it becomes something, right? It's just give it to people, give, and then who knows what happens later on the road if you ask for help. Maybe more people will be interested in giving you that, right? So it's pretty exciting to move forward with that. The biggest, I guess, scary part, Java Boy. So looking forward to Luke Cage on Netflix. Yeah, that's going to be actually pretty good. I still got to catch up on, is Daredevil season 2 out or has it been out for a while? Not sure. But where's I going? Oh, is with the mobile stuff. I'm not. The only hesitant part I have is because I do want to send these pages to publishers, like Marvel, DC, all those guys, just in case. And let me know. I'm noticing like there's light. I keep like everything. I probably when I do this and I go away, everything blinds you. Uh, anyway, a lot of those pages they get a lot more detail in them and stuff. So I'm gonna have to play a little bit of a game to see what we like, what's going on with all that good stuff. So this looks good enough to me. I like it. Simple, fun stuff. So we got our silhouette here, so I'm going to make another folder, and we're just going to call this one rough. And we'll save another version. Grab our pencil here. Now this I know when I when I talk about it on video. Check it. Look at the size of this round. You see how like this eclipse here or ellipse? Look how big that is. And when I'm drawing, it's only this big. I don't know why it's that big. I'll takes a little getting used to for that stuff too. Oh, there is okay, definitely a season 2. Cool. All right, well, add that to the list of things I'm missing. All right, so let's start figuring this out here. What we're worrying about here is try to break all that work we just did, trying to make that shape look cool, and now we're going to try to make it into something. So right now, nothing here is set in stone, right? Absolutely, go ahead and change things up. Gonna hunch them forward a little bit more. That way we can get like some big old puffy pecs kind of coming out there. Now I always like the big characters, and Luke Cage doesn't really look that big, so I might have to just make his head a little bit bigger. I'm not sure, but move it forward at least. So we can kind of get this kind of coming in here. Uno momento. Getting the hot text coming in. Let's flip it. So this arm here is kind of getting crushed up on the side. Hey, Carlos. That's what. Yeah. I was actually gonna take today off, and I just picked up Dragon Quest 7, and I've already played about, I don't know, like 2 hours today or something. Totally old school, you know. Sit down, get the pajama pants going, and just, you know, grab a blanket, sit on the couch, sit in bed, just move around, just play the game. And I still actually want to do that today. But then I looked at my to-do list. That was the problem. No, you know, the problem was buying the game. That, let's be honest, that was the problem. But now that I have the game, it's like, all right, well, just do that. But then you look at the to-do list like I did, and it's not good. It's no good. So I looked at it, I'm like, okay, there's certain things here I should probably at least do. Get some work done so it's not like a total whatever. I don't know. Just get in my own head with all that stuff. So take a look at this. I don't know really what's going on here. Maybe he doesn't need a fist. Maybe just open it. Nah, I like the fist. Do we do? No, he's got chains on him here. I think maybe we're gonna go ahead and change the head. Just hunch him forward even more. This way we can still see his face, and it gives it just, you know, a little more character in there. And perhaps we can actually, here, let's just move all this up. Because his hand is actually, well, unfortunately, it's getting squished. It's better already. How's the audio, guys? Can you hear me breathing into the mic and stuff? Let me know if you don't mind, because I don't want to be doing that. Do you write up a to-do list every day? Okay, I'll show you on my channel. I know, Carlos, I believe you're new. I've seen you popping in for a few days now. But if you want, do not do it now, or do it now, whatever. This will be up later. But check out the Pomodoro technique. There's that, and then I also have a video. There's two. One's a really long one, like an hour. Jeez, I talk too much. The other one's like a condensed one. Condensed is like 20 minutes of all things. It's the same sort of thing, but there, and it's my productivity stuff, like how I stay productive. Bought a video game, so take it with take it with a grain of salt. But I go through all the stuff that I do to like try to stay on top of things. One of the best things that have worked for me is taking a task or like a project and not going, okay, it's due this day, and I have up until that day to do it, or waiting to the last day. It's for me, it's been a horrible habit. So ever since I started working digital and reading the DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics, everything Freddie Williams talked about in there about like batching and breaking work down. For me, like, even if it's just a pinup like this, for the most part, if I took a week to do this, just of like what I'm doing right now, the roughs, and it's only taken like 15 minutes. I save it, and then tomorrow I worry about doing the line art, and then the day after I worry about doing the inks. My energy is always super high. Today's a little different, like I said. It's more of just a casual day. So what the hell? I can sit down and do this. It's not a big task. It's not going to take a lot out of me or whatever. But yeah, I'll quickly show you the to-dos that I usually use in 1 second here. Audio, okay, cool. Yes, I'm definitely putting the TR on. There's two versions I'm looking at. One, he looks more just like the superheroes I don't like, where they're just wearing like normal clothes. And then there's this one I'm looking at. I think it's like the Power Man outfit, where he's got like the, I don't know, it's a little bit more of like a flamboyant kind of shirt. So I still like showing the muscles, but I do like some of the shirt action. But I'm gonna rip it up with some bullets and stuff like that. Yeah. So uno second, guy. Okay, so my to-do list. Let's just see here. I'll make sure there might be some stuff on here that's whatever. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So I can show you guys this stuff. There's nothing like too dramatic on here. So, is this getting cut off with the overlay? Yeah, it kind of is. Okay, so just bear with me on this. Check this piece of software out. It's called Todoist, not To Do List, just Todoist. And ever since finding this, it's been an absolute game changer for me. I'm a big proponent of a book called Getting Things Done by David Allen, and this has been a godsend for me for doing that. And you can quickly just change dates, quickly just like hit this, add an idea that you got in your head, and deal with it later, all these sorts of things. But I can always move these things around, and this is what I have today. Looks like there's quite a bit of stuff here, but Euro's $15 one, that's what we're doing right now. Emptying the cat litter, it's important. So I set little reminders so I don't forget this stupid stuff. A little 30-minute workout, whatever. This is what I'm hoping to get done today. I'm not sure. Like I said, I might just call it off, do a little relaxed day because I do have room tomorrow to do it. That's doing the flats for the turtles piece. I don't know what this is. I think this is my website. I don't know. Yeah, and then posting some stuff on Patreon about the brushes and stuff like that. And you can change the priority and all this stuff. But if you don't even go this far, one piece of advice that I've heard and I did for a little while and actually was phenomenal was every time before you go to bed, write what you're going to do tomorrow. You don't have to get as granular as I did, but like just for art, if you're just focusing on art, what is like the number one art thing you're going to do today or tomorrow when you wake up? Or maybe not when you wake up, but tomorrow's got to get done. And maybe a couple other things if you got time. Just doing that and reading it as soon as you wake up changed so much for me. Changed so much because there's so many times where like you wake up maybe rushing to go to work or to go to school or everything's on autopilot when you wake up to go do your stuff that when you're at school or at home or at work later, it's sort of like what was I supposed to do, or you forget, or you don't got the energy and stuff. But when you plan, like you're basically before you go to bed, you're writing down what you want to do tomorrow, so you actually have a reason to wake up. I know that sounds crazy, but there's so many people that don't have a reason to wake up. Like if you ask most people, why'd you wake up today? Like why? What are you looking forward to by waking up? Some people don't even know. It's just doing the thing, and that's a very scary spot. So you don't want to be in there. I recommend you don't want to be in there. Give him some bling. We'll see. We'll see how blinged out we're gonna make him. All right, so let's kind of figure out what's going on with the head here. So I'm just gonna shrink this up. Oops, got rid of my reference. There we go. All right, so eyeball. Actually, I wonder if we can get like a little, maybe a little emotion in here, like a little. I don't make them crazy, but maybe we can like one eye's kind of open, the other one's a little bit more shut. Oops, I went the wrong way with that nose. This is something I want to spend some time on, like some serious time moving forward with, because obviously comics are going to be huge that we're going to be working on. emotion in characters is something I really want to improve on big time. Like, just having like range to draw characters in is so important. And I feel like I'm getting stagnant. Hey Rick, how's it going, bud? Hey, yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming in, guys. Francie's. I'm trying to juice it up, but I don't want to spend too much time into it. Like I was saying with you guys before, it was like a lot of people when we do this sort of stuff, we get too concerned with like the lights, the lighting, and the audio quality and stuff. Where really it's just what you're looking at, the drawing, and like I guess what I'm saying. That's what's more important than how it looks. But at the same time, sneak into like a couple minutes or whatever just to clear things up a bit. Really, the only reason I'm changing this up is I want to try the webcam stuff because when I go to other people's streams or whatever, it's always fun to, I don't know, look at people. So you guys have an idea what I look like, even on my worst days or whatever. But just brings a little bit more humility to it. You can see me reacting and talking and all that good stuff. But that mixed with like Snapchat, I wanted to put a little link on there. You guys can see it because I didn't have that before, and I had to update the Instagram thing and whatever. But the Instagram where you see it's like so long of a title that keeping everything at the bottom was getting a little out of control. So I don't know. This was thrown together in like 10, 20 minutes. So I'll be looking around, see if we can get something else. I don't want anything too beautiful, I suppose. Let me turn the silhouette off so I can see this a little better. I'm just trying to clean this up a little bit more. We're almost done here. We can just move on to the actual liner and stuff. Yeah, all you guys unfortunately get to see is I was wondering if I should write something like on my head all the time, because all you'll see in this setup is my bald head. So the webcam makes it a little better. Cool, cool. Jason Brubaker, thank you. I forgot to check. I know he uses webcam too. Justin. How am I going with Justin? It's Jason. Why am I reading Justin? Jason Brubaker live streams. Cool. Thank you. Almost forgot. Okay. Every time I click off here, I'm going to lose my reference. Alright, so I'll have that. What we will do, like I normally do, is lower the opacity, make a new layer, color, pick red, and we will draw his clothing. So we kind of already have this going. I'll just put it in some more. Did you ever read the Alias comic that featured Luke Cage? No, I haven't. I am totally illiterate, and I have no idea really anything about Luke Cage. There's actually a lot of superheroes I don't really know much about. So like I have my favorites, the ones that kind of I thought were interesting when I was growing up. Then there's a lot that I just I don't know too much about. So like I said, a lot of his clothes are going to be all tattered up and stuff here, but I just want to have the idea of where like a lot of the wrinkles will go just in case we get in there. He's got these really slick, I call them Wonder Woman gauntlets. His costume, thank F. And I said this actually yesterday was when we were doing the flats. Like, man, superheroes and they're like simple costumes. Thank you. All right, so let's see how this looks once. It's gonna be kind of. Why is. Cool. Yeah, so again, too, guys, sorry. Feel free to ask any questions or anything you guys had, if you had any at all, and go from there. Okay, so we've got what we need. I'm thinking. Let's lock this guy up. Let's see what he looks like with blue line art. I like it. The red stands out here, which is good. Because once we lower the opacity of everything, I still need to be able to see it. Sweet. Okay, cool. So silhouette, we're not going to need any. Oh, well, I'll leave it there because there's bullets bouncing off them. I don't want to forget that. So let's save it up. And we'll save another version, and this one is lines. Alright, let's lower the opacity here. Okay, and I'll say this too. You guys will see it in the other video. I tried to, for those interested in the brushes and all that good stuff, I tried to, I'm going to have to actually move this around. Let's do it right now. Cool. Keep these in like the workflow that I normally work in, like the process of it. So like we said, we got it makes it easier for me too to kind of like know where I kind of at. I know it sounds odd, but so the silhouette's the first brush we got, then the pencil that you saw that I like to use, and then the line art. And these are like what we're going to be doing now, and then it gets into the inking, and they're all usually the same. It's just like large inking, normal inking, fine inking, you know, just little details. Big lifeless marker. This is sometimes actually I'm going to move that move that too. Sometimes that's here. Sometimes I use that instead of using the silhouette actually. And what it is here, I can just show you. Is it just like this? Just gross. But what this does is like when I'll just kind of show you. So if you wanted to rough out like a form, there's no pressure sensitivity to this at all. I cannot get beautiful art with this. It's almost like drawn with a Sharpie, and that's actually pretty important because again, it keeps you sort of like focused on the task that that you're trying to hit. So anyway, so we got that. We got our inking, and then we go into, you know, if we want some texture, there's only one brush for that. Then we get into the color if you're going to color, or we go into the Copics. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So let's get our line art. So make sure these ones are right. Cool. We're gonna start here with his face. How's he look? Oh, yeah, no problem. No problem, Kevin. No problem. Thanks for just being here, bud. Java Boy. Other than DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics, do you have any recommendations? Uh, that book, uh, like just for what it is for drawing, like I wouldn't get that book for to teach you how to draw. If that's what you're looking at, I guess it's just different needs. Like just knowing what it is you're the kind of book you're looking for. If you're trying to get better at like anatomy or something, I would recommend. There's actually a lot of books. Loomis, George Bridgman, uh, Figure Drawing Design and Invention by Michael Hampton. I don't even know if I have it here. No, I don't have it with me. But that's probably the best anatomy book I've ever read. I wish it was sort of like the only book I read. But there's a lot of other art books and stuff too that I would recommend. But it just depends what you're looking for. If it's just for digital drawing and stuff, I really like the DC Comics Guide. And again, I do realize it's not for everybody. Some people, no matter what, they just refuse to work like this, and that's good. I don't think everybody should be just all drawing the same, or else we're all gonna get like the same looking kind of art, you know. But it's an excellent launching point if you're looking to get into digital sort of stuff. So we can figure this mouth out. Hmm. We'll leave it for now. I'm not sure. Here's a face and it's beautiful. You're beautiful too, my man. You're beautiful too. Okay. It's starting to look a little crazy to me, and I don't want to go too crazy with this guy. How's this bandana kind of looking? Yeah, actually, we had the camera link in like one stream. I don't even know if it's up there, but I was just trying it out. So we're still gonna try it out, see what we like, see if it's positive. I'm sure nobody's really gonna care. I'm just wondering if it adds anything. That's all. Trying to just think, like what I like, not what I like necessarily, but I guess what I'm used to when I see other people's stuff. Like if you go to Twitch, that might be a bad example, but like there's nothing wrong with seeing. It sort of just breaks it down, I suppose. It gives it something more interesting for you to look at besides just the artwork. Sometimes I find sometimes seeing people rage, or I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but like just people being real a little bit, it's good. So we'll try it out, see what the hell happens. And on the, I guess, the selfish side is I would like it, or I think it'd be kind of cool, so that when we go to conventions and shows and stuff like that, not everybody knows what I look like. It's pretty weird to think that anybody would, right? So, if this helps people recognize me when you go to, if I get the lucky chance to see some of you guys at a show or something, then that's even better. Okay, what the hell? So his ears going? Yeah, that's right. Oh, you did win one. Oh, awesome. So do you like it, Java Boy? Do you like that book? Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna. Are you a big fan of the classic look of Luke Cage or the updated modern? Right now, I'm looking at. I believe this is the classic stuff, which is what we're doing. Like there's a cool thing here with like the tiara. It is a classic thing for sure, and I can understand why people wouldn't do this anymore. They would just kind of like shave his head and keep it all slick and stuff like that for sure. But the classic stuff, I think if it's done right, I don't know. To me, and I'll show you guys the reference I'm looking at here so you can kind of see here. So I believe this is drawn by Mike Diodato, fabulous artist. So this is what I understand to be the classic, and then this is like I think current. I'm not 100% sure, but to me anyway, this is just a guy with like the only thing that makes him look like a superhero or different than like a regular black guy that works out is the fact that he's got gauntlets. And I don't know. And again, this might be more of I don't know the character, and that might just be him. He's just a regular dude kind of thing. But when I see this guy, it's dated for sure, especially with that shirt. But everything else, like even if you just gave him this shirt and these pants, got rid of the boots, just gave him like normal nowadays boots and stuff, but you gave him that chain and everything else, like it's still like it's I don't know. There's little elements in this that make it a character to me, not just a like a generic. Like this guy to me could just look like a background character, and I don't like that. I like these are superheroes, right? So that's whoops, I got rid of it again. But that's what I'm looking at right now. So to me, to answer your question, I like this one. Maybe the shirt's a little too whatever, but for the most part, that's the one I dig. Hey Mirko, how's it going, bud? All right, so did I draw anything on there? No. Okay. So let's start down here, I guess, with the hand. Get this stuff going. So what are you guys working on this weekend? You guys doing anything, or are you guys all just relaxing? Just farting around on YouTube? Okay, that knuckle doesn't make any sense there. The current Luke Cage is one with the shade head? Okay. I figured as much, yeah. That is, ugh, I don't like it. To me, it's boring. That's all. Just doing some awesome flat. Yay. Lucky you, buddy. Sculpting with clay. Okay. So we got some people doing some sweet stuff. Okay. So I know here I'm just gonna draw like some lines because I'm just going to do the same thing we normally do with the gauntlets here. But let's get his. I guess we're gonna go with the baggy shirt. Actually, just draw the gauntlet in here. See some time. Big old bicep. Actually, this doesn't make any sense. It's like all of a sudden he's got no forearm. So let's we'll tear this up in a second here. Cool. Cool. Might go see Suicide Squad again. Actually, here, let me turn the lights on. It's getting dark in here, man. Alright, might blow out the camera here, so we'll see. Tijuana is working on a comic that can't be spoken of in decent company, hoping to soak in a tip or something. Somebody's got to make those kinds of stuff, man. Somebody's got to make that kind of stuff. His right cheek is smaller than the left. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can fix it. How's that? Yeah, that looks better. Good eye. Thank you, sir. Actually, you know what we're gonna do here? I'm gonna like try to get some motion here. Really blow out this shirt here. This is gonna be perfect. That looks like blood. What the hell's that? That's the worst hand I've ever seen. Okay, let's try to fix this up here. All right, let's get some reference. Let's make some fists. That's what we got here. Something like that, maybe. Sure. See how this works out. What? little better. Kinda. I don't know. All right. La, 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 la. Daniel, what is your favorite all-time animated series movie? All-time favorite animated. I'm not into animation as much as I used to be. If I had to pick something, animated. Shouldn't be this hard, right? I'm trying to think what's on like my movie stand there. Um, that's not even. No, that's not even animated either. Wow. I don't have one. I guess it shouldn't be this hard. I don't have one. Good question, man. Keeman, I'm still working on a comic where six humans go into outer space and return to Earth and unexpectedly get superhuman powers. Sounds alright. This looks like a. Oh yeah, it pretty much is like a pirate shirt that he's wearing. It's the Power Man pirate shirt. All right, let's get all his big old buff muscles in here. The fun stuff. Big old massive pecs because superheroes. Does pec even fit in that? Let's give us something that we can ink up there. Okay, so I think he's good. The bullets I'm still gonna leave on there because we can add them in right. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about them now. There's no reason to. So let's get some contour line action. So we gotta play connect dots. Uh, I haven't seen any Berserk animation. Like sat down to watch like an animation or anything like that. To me, it's like the manga. That's it. The video game looks promising. That looks kind of fun. The Dynasty Warrior style. Hey, I'm a silly name. How's it going, man? So we should be good. Let's grab our wand tool from folder. Is this gonna work? Should work. F9. Nope. Something went weird in here. What didn't get selected? There we go. Just drag that. Put the bottom. And we're pretty much good to ink. So, let's save up that because we got our line art all finished. Let's see what you got here. The old Berserk is one of the prettiest animations I ever did see. I love that 90s style. The new one is budget to say the least. Dude, the Berserk anime was what got me hooked. Oh, okay, cool. Berserk actually, funny you say that, got me, I guess, sort of hooked on manga. So, Berserk's good. Check it out. No, Cowboy Bebop. I'm not into Cowboy Bebop. I've tried. I can't do it. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. I don't dig too much about it. Evangelion. I'm reading the manga that currently. I've seen bits and pieces of like a lot of these animes you guys are talking about with like clips and stuff, but not like a full blown like sat down and watch the whole series kind of thing. Attack on Titan is something I think I really need to sit down and watch because I watched 2 episodes of that and the action was I was all about that. It looked really slick. It was really cool. Okay, so we're gonna get our inks here and don't need the rough, so that's gone. Silhouette, I'm gonna keep that. Like I said, it's nice to have that background there. The line art, I'm going to select all of it except the contour and layer, combine selected. So now it's just that and that. Sweet. Inks. And now we'll go into, I think, just this one. Is that fine? Yeah, we can work with that one. Maybe even large inking, actually. Maybe when you get into the shirt and stuff. Guyver. Okay, I forgot all about that. Somebody introduced me to that in high school, way back in the day. Guyver's actually really slick. We would open up his chest. God, that was cool. We're watching that stuff on VHS. Actually, the Street Fighter movie, the anime one, that one was really good. With the infamous Chun-Li scene. You guys know which one that was? That was a good movie. Hey Bella, what you doing? What you doing? Hi. You come and say hello? Hi. You wanna come lay down? Hey. Hi, how you doing? Hey, you gotta go outside for a pee? You wanna go outside? What you up to, huh? You causing troubles? Hey, what are you up to? What are you up to? Just give me one quick second, guys. I'm gonna put the dog out. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, should be good. Sorry about that, guys. Everybody's bladder, including the dog, had to be empty. So let's go. Let's just see. I just want to make sure that you guys are staying there. I tried JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. People recommended me that too. I start usually with the manga with this stuff. I couldn't get into it. The anime might be a different thing. That's just something I need to sit down and actually try to get into. Art related, how do I render without making my drawing look overdone or patchy? For me, usually what I find with that question anyway, is do you understand why you're rendering? If you're rendering for the sake of rendering, that's probably why it's getting a little patchy or feel like it's messy. Rendering is supposed to be like if I was to shade this whole thing with gray, right? Like in here, let's say it's black and then gray, that kind of thing, and then white. You're rendering to contour a form, like a roundness or something, as well as that transition from a stark black to white. That rendering is like a blending in between it. So as long as you think like that, besides it taking practice, and check out like artists that you like, see how they render. And now, like, and I'm just assuming that maybe you don't know why rendering happens or whatever, but in case you don't, at least now, hopefully you do a little bit understand it, and go back and look at the artists that you like and see, with what I've just said, see how they render and just sort of play it along that, like, why do they add like a line here? Besides, like, some people, myself included, I will do this eventually, is like I'll just start adding some things uh, for style, really, but it's to help break up some of these forms that it just might be too white, like it's just too empty or something, right? Hmm. I don't think I'm feeling this nose here. Sorry. You really like the way Berserk and Vagabond are rendering. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's good. So now that you kind of know the direction, their rendering with that stuff, at least from what I've seen, is it's still the same stuff. It's still the concept, just like what Van was saying. It's the same. It's that it's still building up a form, like transitioning from like hard shadow to a white or a gray. So just always follow form. Their rendering, I believe, is the style of pen they use, where it's like this. It's very thin, right? Whereas traditional American rendering tends to be a little bit more like what I'm doing, where it's like thin to like almost heavy, thick blacks like that, or it'll get kind of into cross hatching a bit. just sort of know what it is. If you're getting blobby, or if you're just throwing lines down because you see your famous or artists you like just doing that, stop doing that because you're not asking your brain to think about why it's being done. Just that little question might help a lot too. That's kind of a pessimistic way to art, isn't it? I feel like you should seek to be the best at your particular thing. Somebody may be better at realism or blank, but nobody does what you do better. I'm sorry. It was wow. What was that pertaining to, V? I just want to make sure I got what you were saying there. To Daniel's question. Sorry, I didn't even look at that. Thank you. Totally bypassed it. Daniel was asking, who do you have a who? Oh my gosh, who do you have a person you consider? Okay, so who do I have? Who do I consider to be God tier? An artist that you think that you'll never reach their level. Okay, so that's why you're saying that. Okay. Um, I don't. Yeah, I think it's that might not be a negative thing necessarily to think about, but I try to look at it like there's artists that got me to draw. Things that I saw that were like, holy crap, that's nice. Make me want to pick up a pencil. But I've stopped, and I think it's a healthy thing to eventually move away from, which is I'll never be as good as so and so, so why even bother? Or I'm not going to look at their stuff, or comparing what you do with what they do. It's not a good thing. But if you're just asking for the sake of like who's your favorite artist kind of stuff, Joe Madureira to me is still somebody that I could study and study and study. Uh, but no matter what, everything he does to me is almost like flawless. Like I can't. I'll look past what people might complain about in his art and just go like, I think you're wrong. There's a lot more fanboyism when it comes to like him in particular for me, for sure. But like in that case, like I've got nostalgia with that guy too. Like the time that I found him at and in my life and stuff like that. So there's a lot more in there that I'm more grateful for the things that he was able to show me with his art. You know, at the times that I saw it, and because of that, it's sort of like I don't care about the negative sides for a lot of things because he did too much. He did too much good for me. Whoops. All layers. There we go. I'm gonna have to make a separate window here just to so I can put it off screen so I can see how this is looking. Alright, I gotta hurry this up here. I sort of have like a deadline for these that I'd like to give myself, like about an hour and a half max. And we're at like the hour 10 right now. So sometimes it's kind of fun doing this. Well, it's not kind of fun, it is. It's a hell of a lot of fun. But when I work with these things, because these are for those that I talk about, but they don't know exactly whatever. These are for patrons that pledge the $15, which is a crazy amount. And I do that's insane. So if you are one and you're here, or Euro if you're watching, thank you so much. Appreciate it. So I want to obviously give like a really kick-ass piece of art, but at the same time, it's not like a full commission where that stuff is what I would consider like production level quality art. Does that make sense? And I don't say it's a hard thing to talk about, but it's definitely something where I'm kind of like, like somebody's still giving me money for this, which is in and of itself amazing. And everybody deserves the best, don't they? So what I like to do to sort of like, I guess, for my conscience, is use these as great examples of like, okay, let's experiment. Let's like, if I put myself to the clock here, what could I produce moving a little bit faster? And what I found, honestly, is like this hair. This is a great example. This hair, with this brush anyway, has given me so much range with just how this brush works. Like I use it as like a really awesome way to just like figure out new tools and stuff like that, that are simple stuff. I don't want to spend too much time just figuring out new stuff, but I'm grateful that the people that are willing to still hook me up and help me out, that they still like the art. I mean, that to me speaks a lot more of sort of like the fan base, I suppose. See a lot of folds in here, and I do a lot of like some more solid blacks too on these things to get away from having to do too much rendering. But like just even here, that texture that I just put here, like all of this almost looks, in my opinion anyway, similar to like using brush or like a traditional tool. That's why the faces that I see here in the chat today, you guys will probably remember me talking about possibly moving away from this brush. This workflow too, which is it's funny how things work out. I needed speed for a role-playing project, if you guys remember the role-playing cards we were doing, and thankfully Kyle, the client for that project, he wanted like a gritty style, right? And I needed speed and grit, and they can go together, but a lot of times when things get gritty, they get muddy and messy, and they just don't work very well. There's a lot more thought that needs to go into that stuff, I find, than clean artwork. But I took a stab, went a little quicker, and he loved it, and I was like, okay, sweet. So I get to experiment a little bit more with the brush and stuff, and just the effects it was having, and now it's like pretty much everywhere in my workflow, which is great, which is cool. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that or not. I hope you get a chance to, because it's really cool. When something you're sort of practicing or you're making because you need to solve like a logistics or like a commission deadline or something like that, and you start to mess around with some effects and texture and stuff, just with speed or anything like that, and all of a sudden I don't say you level up, but it unlocks like another thing that you never even thought that you might like in your art, right? Because like the whole reason I do a lot of the style that I'm in right now is because I want that clean line art so that I can let colors do a lot of the breathing. I don't want to do rendering anymore because it just takes so much time. It looks cool, but it just takes too much time. I'd rather just be making more art all the time, right? We've talked about that. And I find that even just working with this stuff here, this simple stuff, and not everybody's going to like it. I've gotten my fair share of feedback where people are like, no, not a fan. And that's cool too. But sometimes you kind of have to ask yourself what it is that what you like, and if you like where your art's kind of going. Hey X13. Oh, let's open that lid there. Everybody's talking about the face, right? So here, I'll zoom out here so you guys can kind of see a little bit better what's going on. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put this here because you guys might not be able to see it. So you guys can see both of these anyway. It's a little bit harder to ink with, but we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. Alright, so I'm gonna make a layer. So here we got like this massive shape here, right? So I'm gonna just increase the size of the brush and just to get some more range. Thanks, sir. Okay, I am saying I look at Freddie Williams inking, and it blew me away with how good he got it all to look. Yeah, he's definitely gotten. Yeah, he's gotten way better too. If you're looking at his newest stuff, I believe, and I could be wrong. Regardless, I know it's inked, but he uses a lot of ink wash nowadays for for the turtle stuff, is what I'm assuming when I look at it. But there's definitely inking that he has to do for a lot of that stuff. But yeah, he's compared to even the DC Comics guide. You look at it, for me anyway, like the Robin stuff. It's I don't want to say it's amateur because it's not, but it's got a sort of like a safe inking style. I would call it. And his newer stuff is a lot more loose, and kind of like what mine's starting to get a lot like. I'm moving so quick that I'm not paying attention as much as if it lines up perfectly with the line art that's underneath of it. But it gives it a little bit more of like an organic feel, and it generally gets better feedback, and people dig it, which is great. Which is great. Because sometimes you need that feedback from people to know, like, if you're just way out there, if you need to come back and get pulled back into it. Only thing, if you don't mind, his left eye right to us seems a bit. Yeah, it's supposed to be a little bit more like an expression, like a crazier eye. Uh, but I left it for now to come back to it, and we can see if we can change it. If it just doesn't read that well, if it just feels stupid, then we can pull it back too. Instead of just going with the the generic eyes that everybody draws all the time. Also on Joe Maddock and Relate to How You Feel, I did an essay on him actually for my report last year at college, and his pencil work is disgusting. Disgustingly amazing, 100%. so I'm gonna make a new layer, and maybe we can try just. I suppose we get the bullets in first, and then we can worry about what's getting ripped up here. What are we gonna do for that? Okay. Let's get which brush? Maybe we just use these ones here. Okay, we'll use these ones, and I'm gonna turn my stabilization up to like 100, whatever the hell that is. Let's figure this out. So we'll have some bullets come in. Dude, this brush ain't gonna work. Okay, screw it. We're just gonna go ahead and use this tool here. So let's get him getting shot here. I don't know if we want him getting shot in the face. Yeah, what the hell? We'll get him shot in the face. No, I don't want that. I don't want to cover up his hands. What are we just doing down here? Hey, guy, how's it going, man? Glad you can make it. Just add some more like breaking points and stuff to his costume. Hey Kevin, how's it going, buddy? Okay, so hey, yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for watching. So right now, again, for all the new people in here, I said at the beginning of the stream's almost kind of done. We're just gonna put some Copics pretty soon. Uh, but anyway, so I'm just trying a new setup here. Obviously, webcam and some other things. I don't 100% like it, but it's functional right now. The tomatoes are for the Pomodoro technique. You can check out other videos I've done on that, or you can just research it yourself. Pomodoro technique. Really, all it is I keep them there for now. I'm not using them today, but for the most part, I usually always do this workflow, which is one of those tomatoes represents 25 minutes of focused work, like as focused as you can get, and then a 5 minute break. And then once all your tomatoes are gone, instead of taking a 5 minute break, you take like a 10 to 15 minute break. That's a bit. I usually put them on here because when we do like the beefy 8 hour streams or 4 hour streams, it's tough for me to just sit there and go right through it without a break. So uh, that's what those are there for. So I put them there just to have my spacing and stuff for now. So that's pretty much it. That's all the magic. All right. So I think what we're gonna do with this eye is maybe we can make this other one a little smaller to really make it pop up. Hmm. Not sure. We'll get it. Sometimes it just takes a little while. Um, I like that better. Maybe we can actually just close this side out. That makes him look like he's beat up. We don't want that. Actually, I think it's just that. Let's make his other eye open. Actually, I dig that. Doesn't look that bad. There we go. I think we found it. Feels like we found it. What's that? Oh, Pomodoros, yep. It's a downward angle. Don't be afraid to put the mouth closer to the nose. I think we found no, and I hear you. It's sometimes it's just finding like sometimes it's not even like the thing that's the problem I find. So in this case, the mouth just didn't make sense. And here, let me just go back. I think I put them on different layers. Okay, so this is what we had. You know, and again, I think this mouth is still fine. The problem was the eyes. What to me, what it ended up being was the eyes, and you'll see me build up here. So I started giving him thicker lips. It's sort of feeling right to me. Uh, but if you look, just even this is really look at the direction. So his eyes get bigger. I change the way that the cut is in like that big gaunt of the cheek there, that muscle. Make that more make sense that it's looking down. And then I realized that his head's also too small, so we had some beefiness to the back. And there's a lot that changes in there, but again, to me anyway, this feels much better than where it was. And it's weird. Art doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. On paper, art makes sense when you're writing it down and you're describing it, but sometimes when you're drawing, it's like I don't know. Sometimes you find yourself doing things that I don't want to say you're not supposed to, but aren't supposed to make sense, and then they just do. Like putting a line somewhere where normally you wouldn't put it, but when you put it there, it just looks right. Okay, sounds good. I guess. All right. So before we get into the Copics, let's turn off the silhouette. We don't need that. Let's just look at it nice and clean. And I want to add some speed lines to it. That's my thing. I love speed lines to it. Okay, so let's make a new layer. We'll call whatever. We'll fix it. All right, let's see what we got here. So what is this? I had this before for something, but oh right, I think you can just click and make it. All right, so where do we want it to be? Maybe let's try this out. You can kind of actually make this curve thing. So let's see if I can curve to the impact stuff. See what this is gonna look like. Yeah, that's insane. That doesn't work for me at all. But Manga Studo is awesome. We can come in here, we can move all these points. So let's try that. Sometimes, again, there's just too much. And you don't need things. Just get rid of it. Sometimes it adds just a little bit of punch, Down here is just too much chaos going on. Well, let's try that. Let's take a look. A little look-see. So I'll duplicate it. and we will rasterize it. We'll make a selection, clear the outside. Was it this one? This one. There we go. And erase all the speed lines that are in this. Because the speed lines are going in different directions. If you start getting like right here, speed lines going in there, it breaks that flow, and we don't want that. Let's take a look. It's not bad. It's okay. It's not the best. Hey Kevin, the only problem with your current setup is that we have to watch you. I know the pain. Looking forward to. Yeah, I'm excited to it. I don't have Netflix anymore, but Daredevil was surprisingly really good. I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't like Kingpin. I felt too much like a baby. But again, I don't know a lot of Deadpool's or Kingpin really the background, just besides the character. Uh, is it Punisher? That's the one in the second one, right? Yeah, I gotta see it. I should watch it. Put it on the radar. All right, so I think that's good. What else am I missing here? Maybe we can. It's always a fun one. You can kind of like erase into it, and it just gives it like a little bit of like a. I don't know. To me, this sort of feels like sound. You start adding like these little curve things in here, which is a simple effect, but it adds a lot, right? So okay, so I need to walk away from this because we're spending too much time. How long have we been doing this for? An hour 40? Yeah. These are supposed to be an hour and a half around there. Okay, so we'll have this. Let's combine. Let's use our magical powers here. Captain Planet layer, combine selected layers. So we got that. We're going to put that to gray. Put it on multiply. And we'll make a new layer underneath for Copic. And we will save this as a separate one. And this here, usually I do like just one or two, like a shade of a color. And it usually helps pop it. And again, one last time here, one super last plug. All these I'm going to be putting up today on Patreon, so if you want to check them out, you can do that as well. And I'll be posting a video today as well, just sort of going through this stuff. But the Copic markers people are interested in, they're here as well. I guess we'll quickly go through them here for those interested. Now this actual thing here, I don't have access to. I might. I'll see if I can include it. But you just click it and you'll notice there's two kinds of chisel tips. One go up and down like this. The other one does the left and right, almost like the fat end of a Copic. And then this one here is like the brush tip side of it. I've also got this one here. This is one I usually use for most of the time. It's got a little bit of a different flavor to it. But with this one, I guess we'll try with this. It might be a little too dark to start with. We'll go with this one. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just kind of bounce back and forth between them. Is there a short? Let me see. Okay, cool. So in Photoshop, this is actually cool. You can do this, but in Manga Studo you can do it too. The greater than and less than sign, you can go back and forth. So if I keep that open and I just sort of like tap back and forth, you can get different brush sizes and give it a little different of an effect. So let's see how it works. Oops. That might not work because it's one direction here. Just try it out. See what we get. Yeah, you are right. The stuff that they were showing for the Kingpin definitely gave him some character, made him seem flawed. I think I don't know. Maybe I was just expecting like that the big ominous villain, the crime lord. He didn't feel like a crime boss to me. I suppose was my issue. But again, that's not to say anything negative. I would still highly recommend people check it out if they haven't, for sure. It felt like Daredevil, and I haven't read a lot of Daredevil, but it made me interested in the character more. Maybe we can. How's that? No, that won't work. Hey, Doctor Sparkle. Oh yeah, for sure. That's one of the selling points for Copics, right? Is that it's nice and smooth and it transitions well. I guess in my case, I'm going in an opposite direction for it. But I suppose I could say too that it's like the Copics that I'm using here for this. I'm not trying to make it perfect at all. It's just to help, I guess, give a little bit of effect. It's not meant to be like a full blown commission style stuff, right? But enough that I would hope that the person this is for still digs it. That's all. Okay, cool. All right, so let's clean this up. All right, so I guess we're gonna call this one finished. All we need now is just get their signature on there, and we will be good. So we got art. What do we got here? Master something. Master reference. There we go. Signature. Cool. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. So what I'll do is I'll share this on social media with you guys as well, all over the internets, and I'll say thanks. Appreciate it. Get our stretch going here. We've been sitting here doing this for a little bit, but yeah, thanks so much. I don't know if we'll be streaming tomorrow, possibly. If we are tomorrow, the only real thing, let me just double check here on our to-do list, or actually Trello board. We can see what we've got going on here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, for the rest of the week, which is tomorrow, the only thing that I have to do to be totally caught up is the flats for the Ninja Turtle prints. And then we can get to coloring them. And the coloring, I believe, is next week, splashing into a little bit of the week after that. And then they'll all be done. And then we can get them all printed out, make sure everything looks good in case we have to go back and change some of the colors and stuff. And all that good stuff. I don't think there's really anything other than that that will be streaming. Possibly Jessup King stuff. I would actually really like to get into doing some thumbnails or something to get the comic book stuff going. Jessup King, it's slow moving. I know it seems like that. I guess we'll wrap it up with a quick update for everybody that came in a little bit later. Yeah, sorry, Brian. Yeah, it's the way they go, right? And when I start getting that bad habit of streaming for like hours and hours, it's gonna start being pretty bad news. So let's just do a quick overview. Next week and a half will be colors for all 4 prints. So that's the Turtles print, the Mega Man print, and the DC Comics one. These brushes here that I was doing, there'll be a video posted. It should go up today. It'll be on Patreon for sure. What? No, I'm lying to you guys. I apologize. If you're currently a Patreon for the next week, they're going to be on there. You can download them for $1 or whatever it is for a monthly subscription. You can cancel after the first month if you like. If you just want to get the brushes, that's cool too. Hope you stay. If not, that's absolutely fine as well. So that'll be there. The following week, I will post it available for everybody. It'll still be on Patreon, but it's sort of like if you're a current Patreon supporter, it's just to help, or just a little thank you, for that. And then once all that's done, it's just Jessup King from here on out for the most part, unless there's like a couple client things that might pop up. But unless I absolutely need the cash or something, the goal is to be just doing Jessup King, and we're focusing mainly on a social version of, I don't want to say 22 pages per issue, but I'm just going to call them chapters or whatever. And the reason for that is yesterday, and the last 2 weeks, I've been listening to a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. I recommend you guys check him out. Just search Gary V on YouTube, or especially on Facebook. I post a lot about what he's talking about. And over the last couple of days, I've been asking people as well, just how do we all consume your media? Like as an artist, it might be a little different for like you and I that create stuff. So I know what it takes to make a comic book or an illustration. So when I get something in my hands that's paper, like I don't know if it's because we're old school or what, I don't know. But what the interest was and what he was suggesting was that it's more and more people are consuming things on their phone. That's it. This computer, not even so much, but in general, okay, for like social content. So he's talking about like advertising and stuff. But a lot of what he says still makes a lot of sense to me. And that's what I was more interested in, because comics, that's what I want to do, obviously. So I wanted to know, do you guys consume most of your comics on paper, digital, or on your computer, or on your phone? And surprisingly, there's actually quite a bit of people that actually say phones. More than I thought there would be. And there's actually a lot more people saying it's actually about 50 or 60-40 around there or something like that of the other two sections where people are saying they consume it on the computer screens or a tablet. I consider it the same, uh, and paper. And the other thing, which is interesting, but really shouldn't be interesting, because I'm this way, and I would have to assume most of you guys are too, or at least a lot of you are, is there's too much. There's so much that I want to look at all of it as much as I can. So I look online for free stuff all the time. That's how I consume my stuff. Digital is always free, but there's certain things that I want or that I would like to have that I can just flip through leisurely. There's a different experience there, and those are the things that I spend money on. Is like a trade paperback. And we actually had a really good conversation yesterday. Think of it this way: how many people out here watch TV anymore? Most people, or a growing number of people, consume their visual content through like Netflix or some other service online or something where they can watch it when they want to watch it. And my guess is it's the same as comics. It is for me. When I want to read comics, I'll go grab them. The monthly pull file, I stopped that. That's not the world I'm in anymore, just because I don't like to wait, which is weird. I don't like to wait monthly with the comics that I'll get with the ads in it. And you're paying, and I said it yesterday too, a premium price, like $6 or whatever it is, or $6, geez, $3 to $5 for a comic book. That's a lot of money. And yeah, it's a lot of work for sure. But I prefer to spend that $20 on the full graphic novel because it's the whole, or the arc is there, right? But this is here or there. We're getting into the ramble we were talking about yesterday. So that's the focus I'm going on with Jessup. Is I just want people sharing it and experiencing it, and I'll just give. Just share the entire experience, document the whole thing as we go. Hopefully there's some interest with that, and if not, that's cool. And we'll be sending pages and stuff to publishers and all that good stuff, and who knows what happens from here. Right. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Keep reading comics, keep making comics, and so I don't make this totally weird. Let me get this this set up so I can shut this off too. But anyway, thank you guys. Keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.